Well, how about that intro? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Try to find some retro 80s vibe music here, royalty free, and I think we did. I think that one was pretty sweet. I was vibing with that song. I am ready to go. I'm fired up for this stream. I'm going to do my best to see if I can do this aircraft justice here without Nick by my side, but I think we're going to be all right. I did repair an engine already, full disclosure. We got a brand new left engine. That's all good to go. But I'm excited for this one. The Starship from Black Square. Y'all, this is the most complex, most advanced. It is GA, but I mean, it's like bordering. It's GA, but man, it is the most advanced prop-driven aircraft I think I've flown in the sim, and it is phenomenal. It is absolutely phenomenal, so I'm excited for today's flight. I hope y'all are excited as well. Let's see, we got Andy B in the house, Zach Lewine is here, Dylan R, Captain McGee, what's going on, man? And 3 Greens starting off with a little gifted sub. Appreciate you, man, dropping the 5 gifted memberships. 3 Greens, appreciate you. Zach Lee Winehouse, Virtual Flight Diaries is here. Joe Plains, Towerette Way, Mr. Chicago. What's going on, man? Good to see you. Diabetic Lad in the house. McAllen is here. We got Guy Rat, Smoky Mountain Flight Simmers in the house. Team Vodka, what's going on, man? Vodka, I don't know if you're gonna get the Starship, but it's a must buy, dude. This might be. I'm gonna fly the Starship. Spoiler alert. When Barry reaches South America and we come back, we're taking Starship all the way back. So it's absolutely a blast to fly. Now, this is going to be one of the longer flights I've ever attempted in it. I hope we can figure it out together. If we want to divert into Sedona, we can too. But I'm trying to time it, so we're going to be flying. We're going to see Sedona, the Red Rock Sedona. Then we're going north up over Grand Canyon and then into Telluride. Now, I did not test landing performance for Telluride. I'm thinking it should be fine, but this airplane does like to land long. She doesn't want to stop flying. It's just a big wing, right? We got a big wing. She doesn't like to stop flying, so we got to be very careful about that going up in a Telluride. But I think we should be fine. Now, also getting airborne, I'm hopefully we'll be okay getting airborne because I haven't done any testing with weights or takeoff performance for this airport either. But I am ready to get it started. I hope you are as well. 3 Greens with another 15 Australian. Thank you so much, man, for the super chat. Says no ambulance shift tonight here for all that canard goodness. Brings back memories of the Long Easy I used to fly. Oh, wow, you flew a Long Easy? That's awesome. Just need a TV that's as deep as it is wide to watch the stream for the 80s theme. Indeed, man. Yeah, 3 Greens, man. That's cool. You used to fly a Long Easy. I've never flown a Long Easy, but that is also a very, very unique airplane. Yeah, Canard. We have Canard cam, chat. We do have a Canard cam. I'll show you here in a moment. But Nabil in the house. What's going on, my man? What's going on? I saw Long Easy once for quote-unquote. Yeah, it is. Billy B16, good to see you, man. I cannot wait for this one. Yeah, this one's going to be fun. So I've got the sim up. We're going to do a little pre-flight. We'll get the aircraft ready to go, and we're going to just fire it on up and get out of here. So let me make sure I got my other sound set up. Good. Zippy Zapple, what's going on, man? Appreciate you, man. We do a no GPS. We're not using the GNS. We're using the onboard navigation system. So here she is, chat, in all of her goodness. So the first thing we'll do, we'll walk up to the aircraft. We'll get the door open, go drop off our flight bag, all that good stuff. We've got the courtesy lights there that automatically turn on. You can turn them off by those switches as well. But got the courtesy light on. Before we, after we drop our bag off, we'll go ahead and pull our pitot tubes. You do not want to forget your landing gear pins. So we'll come down here, pull the landing gear pin. That looks good. Make sure the landing gear is in proper condition. Now, these are the touched on them on the long form video with Nick. These are the harmonic ice detection, and we've got all of them on here now. So I just love the way that one looks right here. And this aircraft has grown on me. I mean, it is seriously grown on me, visually speaking. Like, I always knew of the Starship. I always thought, okay, it's very unique, but I'm actually really starting to enjoy the way it looks. Just from flying it in the sim, it's fun. It's so fun. It's so unique. And of course the modeling from Black Square is just awesome. So we'll come around the end here. You always feel like it looks like a catfish, Jim. No, I don't think this one looks like a catfish. I think the Avanti looks like a catfish. That one definitely does. We'll go ahead and pull our pitot covers. And of course, this is a very important thing. Once we pull the pitot covers, we want to make sure we spin our props around here. We can remember we got the free spool turbine here, the PT6. Make sure all the blades are looking good, no chips on it. You run your hand down those blades like so. Same with the right engine here. We'll kind of spin them around, make sure our blades are in good working order. What's good, Steven? Good to see you, man. Yeah, it's definitely a looker of an airplane, man. It is a looker of an airplane. Look at that. All right, we'll hop on. We'll come around the nose here. We did pull the plugs. Now, remember, if you forget to pull the plugs, you will find out. So, plugs have been pulled. Oh, I just hit my head on the canard. One of my Starship friends, the only guy I know that flew Starship, says you weren't a true Starship pilot till you cut your forehead on the canard doing a little walk around pre-flight. So, because I guess it sits right at that eye level where it's kind of in that semi-blind spot. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know it's there, but it's just right there. Oh, boom. Nailed it. So, we actually just did that unintentionally. All right. Let's go ahead and call Teleramper. Hey, can you hook up the ground power, please? All right, cool. So we'll hop in. We'll get it fired up. Is this airplane fast? It's pretty fast, Jeremy. It's King Air style fast, that's for sure. I'm getting a spam call already. Getting a spam call. Yes, the Duke will do the same when it's fully enabled as well. When it's fully enabled, yep. All right, so once we're in the cockpit, I'm going to pull the control lock. We do have our controls free and correct. Now let's get the payload organized. So looks like he's hooking up the ground power outside for us. All right, ground power is hooked up. Now, we're going to have to do a little bit of pseudo planning, and then once we have our numbers set up, we'll be able to look at the Starship's number for fuel, so we kind of jive it up. Thoughts about the crash? Man, it's tragic for sure, Atul, but there's really nothing we know. I mean, there's no sense in speculating. It appears that the engines were not at Toga thrust when it crashed. That's the only thing we know because you can't hear them. You know, you could say the rad is out. It kind of sounds like the rad is out, but that's about all we know, man. And there's no sense in speculating because it does no good. But definite tragic loss of life, that is for sure. Okay, so if I put this in pounds, our fuel on board, 1,300, we need more than that. So we're actually going to go 150. 150. See how our CG is moving back here? That brings us up to 2,000 pounds. I'll take a couple there as well. Put 10 gallons in there. Does that? That was our CG as well. 150, 150. Let's take 160, 160. All right, that looks good. So we got a pilot and co-pilot. Puts us at a gross weight at 13,200 pounds. We're pretty heavy. Oh, actually, that's 4. Do we want 4 passengers? Let's lighten them up just a little bit. So we got 4 passengers. Gross weight is 13,100. With fuel on board, that should be enough to get us there. CG is looking good. All right, left engine, right engine. Right engine's a little damaged. A little worn, I should say. Left engine, fully replaced. Fully replaced. Toasted that one. Everything else looks good. So we can put the EFB away. And I'm curious, if I close the door here, yeah, it'll just a little bit quieter so we can focus and hear some great cockpit sound. So let's go ahead and get the battery switch on. We'll boot it up. Joining me in the toasted PT6 brew hood. Yeah, well, it wasn't technically my fault. The way it reloaded, it loaded with the condition lever full forward, and no bueno when that happens. External power will connect. All right, so you guys saw from the full release video the external power, and not even the external power, but just the electrical and the way the loading is so meticulously modeled. It's fantastic. We want to get the avionics fan on the ground. Remember, we want to keep that nice and cool. Get those fans up and running like so. So we got the alternate avionics blower is on. Let's go ahead and power up the standby gyro. You hear that spinning up? We'll also power up the ICUS and the pilot PFD here. Since we're on ground power, we're going to get everything aligned. And you know what? Technically, the Starship calls for not powering up the CDU, but I'm going to boot it up so we can run the check, that we can check ourselves off digitally with the checklist. All right, so we're going to power everything up here. We're on ground power. It should be okay. Yeah, 19th, I believe. 19th is when it is going to be officially released. Get the lights master on. Ooh, very good. Cabin aisle, cabin overhead. Oh yeah, we're getting it all nice and juiced up here. We'll get the nav light on. No wing lights, no strobe lights required. Got our nav lights out there. Beautiful. All right, we've got a couple of low pressure lights. Looking good. Everything's coming in. We're going to initialize. All data okay. All data okay. Checked on both. Would look good in your Texas livery. Oh yeah, I'm going to have to get Whiskey Throttle to hook a brother up with a custom 1980s Texas Starship. So, normal procedures. Let's go ahead and start running through it here. We'll go ahead and run through the safe airspeeds pre-flight checks. Okay, parking brake is set. Here we go. Landing gear control is down. Batteries on. Pitch rolls are neutral. They should be. A fuel quantity. Let's go ahead and check that. So we've got the 1139, 67, 67. That checks. Oxygen pressure is checked. We're also going to need an oxygen system is going to be coming on. There we go. Air store door annunciator checked, which is closed, so it's not on. So, all right. Battery, then we turn the battery off, wheel chocks removed, do all that stuff, come back around emergency exit, come back, and then we're going to dauber over to the before starting engines. So, while we're sitting here, we're going to do a couple pre-flight things. All those circuit breakers are in. All circuit breakers in and checked. Reversionary panels as required. Seatbelts and shoulder harness, parking brake, audio panel, static source is normal. Oxygen supply, we just pulled that on. Oxygen mask test. Test both sides. Excellent. Ice protection is all off. Landing gear is down. Anti-skid switch, turn you on. You hear the anti-skid? Did you hear that? That's awesome. Subtle little sounds like that. Center reversionary panel as required. Looks good to me. Standby instruments, they are on. Booted up. Standby power annunciator illuminated. Prop levers. So we're going to make sure we are idle, forward, and cut off for this start, because we're actually going to do a different start on this one, just because it's going to be fun. Power levers idle. Prop levers full forward. Condition levers fuel cut off. Bleed valves, they are off. Temperature mode is off. Triple feed bus volts 22 minimum. We got 27.2. Center bus volts 23 minimum. We got 28. We're sitting on ground power. The ICAS is on. Firewall fuel valves, they are both pushed and closed. Confirmed. Forward valve illuminated. Standby pumps on. So we're going to basically check. Standby pumps. Standby pumps. There they go. Off, off. Fuel pressure lights illuminated. Then we would do the fire test. We're going to skip those. Transfer flow. This one's an important one, so we're going to clear the caution. We're basically going to make sure we get a transfer of both tanks. Fuel transfer left. Light goes out on the right. Fuel transfer right. Life should go out on the left. Check. Cool. Clear the caution. Keep on working through. Off. Avionics air fail illuminated. We got the blower on. Blower message extinguished. Boom, boom. Fuel quantity total and half is checked. Oxygen pressure confirmed. Lights as required. Checklist complete. Oops. Dauber to the right. And now that gives us a battery engine start checklist, which we're actually going to do a modified ground power start, because I want you to hear it start up when the props are not in feather. So it's really epic. So we're going to do, normally with the ground power start, you would actually start them in feather, which we did with Nick. That way you're not blowing dust and everything all around over the ground crew. But what do we got here? Stephen Hayner dropping 20 gifted subs. Stephen, thank you, man. I really appreciate the love, dude. Appreciate you for the 20 gifted sub bomb. I think you're going to be flying this airplane, right? I think this is right up your wheelhouse, man. Thank you so much for the support, Stephen. Team Green here, and you should feel special if you get a membership gift from Stephen Hayner or 3 greens, the first 2 membership gifters on a Starship flight, the first ever Starship flight. That is fantastic. Thank you, guys. Just Steven says I'm going to fly the ever-living crap out of this thing. Listen, that's where I'm at, man. It's so much fun, dude. It's replaced my King Air. I love the King Air to death, but it's scratched my King Air desires, if you know what I mean. All right, so while we're sitting here, let's go ahead and load up our flight plan. We got a small little flight plan to go, so we will we'll go here to the flight plan. And I'm actually going to go index plan map, so it will follow us along here. So we'll start out with the Montgomery Field Airport, KMYF, enter, okay. And then after Montgomery, we've got some fixes. Let me pull them up on my other monitor. Finally, be the coolest dude on Iveo Premium. I know, LA Center's offline, but we're calling up a Starship 1 today. We are Starship 1. So, after Montgomery Field, our first waypoint is the Julian VOR, Juliet Lima, India, enter, okay. Now, I am typing this with my keyboard. You can use the modified T9, which is it's tedious, but it's pretty fun. But just for sake of time, kind of a longer flight. Parker, enter. What do we got? Zach Leewoing dropping 5 gifted subs. Thank you so much, Zach. Really appreciate you, man. Y'all should feel, like I said, if you get a membership during a Starship stream, it's something special. Drake VOR, okay, enter. After Drake, we're going to Grand Canyon, Gulf Charlie November. I haven't done this route and tested it at all, but man, if it works out the way I want it to, this could be one hell of a scenic flight. Oh, I just hit the master light switch, ETL. Okay, I gotta come up here and after Echo Tango Lima, we're going direct to Telluride. Kilo to X-ray, enter. Okay, end flight plan. Now, really, before I come back, uh-oh. Okay, there we go. I gotta fix my lights here because I hit the master light switch. So that kind of screwed things up. 3 Green says King Air is dead. Long live the king. I mean, we might have a new king. We might have a new king in the house. 3 Greens. We might have a new king in the house. Fiber, welcome to Private Pilot, man. Appreciate the support, dude. Thank you so much for the membership. Appreciate you. Thank you again, Zach, for the 5 gifted. All right, the sun is rising. It's time to get this thing fired up. So, flight plan is in the box. We can kind of step through it here, too. If I move the range out, we're going to actually step backwards. So there's our route of flight. Zoom the range back in from Montgomery out there. Okay, so now let's go to nav source. We're going to be FMS1, which is going to be White Needles. So we got White Needles. For the communications, we need to be on 122.8, which we are. There's no CTAF for Montgomery ground, so 122.8 is active. And transmitting. All right. So 122.8 is active and transmitting. No auto ATC squawk, which I find interesting. I don't know why we don't have an ATC squawk, so I'm just going to go to... I'm not sure. I guess we'll leave it at 1200, but we're not going to be VFR, though. That's the point. How does one change the ATC squawk code? I think we come here. And there we go. We'll just squawk 2000. 2000 squawk. And then we will turn that on here. Actually, we'll turn it on right now. Let's take ATC standby to ATC1. We're 22.8. There's the reply light. Excellent. All hail Rutan, exactly, Napalm. Diabetic Lad, Godspeed, your magnificent CRT-laden catfish. Indeed, Diabetic Lad, indeed, man. We have no shortage of CRTs today, my friend. All right, let's go ahead and pull this, hit the recall button. Look, it brings us right back to the checklist before engine starting on battery. And matter of fact, if I skip that one, external power start is what we're going to do, but we're actually going to keep the engine out of feather because, like I said, it's extra juice. So since we are on external power, we're going to go ahead and just boot it up with the avionics running. I don't know if that's frowned upon or not, but let's go ahead and get ready to fire it up. So where's the gold Casio calculator watch for weight and balance calculations? Oh, yeah, that's what, hold on. We're getting ahead of ourselves. Go back to index. FMS, progress, and we need to check our fuel. So then we have to go back to, I'm still navigating around this place, index, fuel management, fuel remaining. So we have, in pounds, we got 1,200, let's see. Let's just call it 11 and 11. That's 2,200 and 60 and 622. Let's say we have 2,100 pounds of fuel. So now we'll take it a minute and we'll see what kind of fuel numbers we have left from the Starship. That has us landing with 731 pounds. At, or just prior to, actually, let's go all the way down. Telluride, remaining fuel 689. That actually works out. That works out. We'll have remaining fuel of 689. As far as weight and balance is concerned, we do have, let's see, we have 6 passengers on board. The average weight, we averaged them out. Operating weight, current weight is 1,305. That checks out with what we loaded. So I like that. Our en route flight time is 1 hour and 48 minutes according to this, so that looks good. We're going to run it fast. That's a ground speed of 320 knots at 780 pounds per hour. So gosh, I love this airplane, man. The vibe in here is just, it's awesome. All right, let's go ahead and go back to not flight plan. Where do I want to put this one at? We'll just put you on radar control. We'll go back to index. We'll go to FMS progress, and then we'll hit the recall, bring us back to the checklist, and we're about ready to go. So Magic Barrel Ref has been updated, 29 or 89er. Our initial altitude is going to be, we don't have any ATC online. Let's just set, we're going all the way up to 34. Let's set 24 first, and I don't think we'll have an issue going up to 34 from there. But 24 set, 29 or 89er is set all the way across the board. And we'll get our runway heading and everything prior to start. So with all that said, let's go ahead and throw on the anti-collision light, seatbelt sign. We are getting ready. Oh, look at that glow. I haven't messed with the lights. We're going to do a night flight to Miami, probably this weekend as well. We're going to be doing a night flight to Miami, which is about as Starship as you can get. So look at that freaking glow. Oh my goodness. All right. All right, battery volts. We got 28 because we're on ground power. Propeller levers are in feather. We're modifying this procedure. We're doing idle forward cutoff. ICAS pilot and co-pilot avionics. Ooh, we have to shut them off. Okay, so let's do that. ICAS and pilot. ICAS pilot and co-pilot avionics off. All right, let's go ahead and start them up. Ignition start right. Clear prop. Wait, how do we see the... Chat, how do we see the engines? I screwed it up already. Oh, no. Wait for max motoring. We can't cook an engine, chat. I'm assuming that's max motoring. Fuel. Well, this is no bueno. ICAS, pilot, co-pilot avionics off. Oh, chat, we hosed this. There's our temps. 50% starter off. We're getting a good start. All right. Jeez. PT6 bacon already. I shut off the wrong. So you want to keep your ICAS on for engine start. Obviously. All right. With that said, now who's going to be the unlucky one to go unplug the ground power unit? Well, I guess I will. So I'll come back over here And we will disconnect. We'll go off, on, reset, external power off. Right generator load. All right, so we got the door open. Now I gotta go unplug this. All right, thank you. We'll talk to you later. Have a good one, guys. Close it up. Latch it. All right, good. We're closed and locked. Let's go straight to run as well. Here comes the propeller. If there was a way to degauss all those CRT screens at the same time, I think you'd open up a wormhole. I think so too. All right, so we've got the engine 1 is stabilized, or engine 2 is stabilized. All right, let's go ahead and start engine 1. Rotation. Going for max motoring on this one. Sleeveless, yes, it will be for 2020 as well. Max motor it on the start. What are we gonna get? We have a brand new engine, so it should be good. That's about good. Fuel on. There's the ITT rise. Waiting for 50% and starter cutout. I can't wait to bind all this stuff on SPAD. 50% starter cutout. And then we'll go to run. All right. That looks good to me. Let's go ahead and get the pilot co-pilot on. We'll get the left generator on, a reset. You can see the load and amps is going to go up there. Left gen, right gen, battery. Battery amps are 0, so that's good. We're running on generator power. Everything's coming up. Looks like our flight plan's saved. We'll wait for the self-test to finish. Can I go back to the checklist? That was the, yeah, let's go recall. And right where we left off. Wonderful. All right, off battery, connect, do that. We did that. We did all of this wonderful stuff. 1000 C minimum, right oil pressure, ignition start. That's all checked. Dauber right. Pilot, co-pilot avionics, bleed air valves. Here we go. This is where we're going to do the after start. So bleed air valves, going to both. Temperature mode, auto. Lights as required, cabin lights and furnishings, no smoking seatbelts, pilot, co-pilot, AHRS alignment. It's initialize, okay, okay. Scrolling on down, radar is in standby. Brakes are checked, checklist complete. Before takeoff checklist full. Before takeoff checklist abbreviated is what we're gonna run. So we'll leave it there. I guess I'll put you over on flight plan, and let's go ahead and taxi out. My goodness, how fun was that? Montgomery traffic, Starship 1, taxi and runway 3, I believe it's 30. We actually are probably going to need some charts, so let's pull out our charts here. This thing makes me want to, makes the Turbine Duke mid. It's a Zach. The Turbine Duke will never be mid, but this is a Turbine Duke on steroids, my man. It's a Turbine Duke on absolute steroids. Orion Vic, what's going on, man? Good to see you there with the flight tracker flight deck cam. Give it a minute, guys, to get this thing loaded up here. All right, so Montgomery Gibbs, we're over here somewhere. We're going to go via Hotel Alpha 28 right to the run-up pad. All right, let's do this. Taxi lights on. Brakes released. Canard cam. Man, she's quick. Here we go. Brakes check. Let's go. You've really got to keep it in beta. I mean, The unrestricted beta range is pretty nice because you have to feather it in beta. Oh, we just taxied onto the runway. Montgomery traffic, Starship 1 going to be back taxiing runway 28 left, Bravo, Montgomery traffic. Now that we're on the runway, we'll take it out of beta. Watch, just idle. Watch this acceleration here. We gotta bring it back. We'll go down to Bravo, make a right, then a left, and go full length. We'll definitely need it. We will be using the forward wing for takeoff. We'll extend it now since we're thinking about it. We'll get to the run-up. It's in our part of our pre-takeoff check. Forward wing is coming out. We will need lots of power. Ugly version of the Piaggio. Do you know what's interesting though? I don't agree. I think the Piaggio is actually uglier than the Starship. I don't think the Starship's ugly. It's just, it's so unique. I actually think the Piaggio is pretty ugly looking. Yeah, we're definitely going to set the trim. You see the little bit of vibration on the forward wing too? There's actually forward wing flex. I think this is the first airplane I've ever flown in a sim to have forward wing flex. Oh yeah, we're going to set the trim properly too. And once we get up, once we get flying too, there's so much. I'm gonna actually pull the manual. The manual is like almost what, 700 pages, something like that. I gotta look. The manual is insanely long, so it'll give us some stuff to do. We can really play around and fiddle with some things once we get up to cruise. All right, spinning around here. All right, both to idle. All right, we're back in idle. Let's do a little bit of a mini run up here. All right, annunciators. Push to test. That's basically the. I kind of want to see all these. There's our Christmas tree. Push to test. That checks. We'll clear the caution. Boom. Scrolling down. Now, so Nick was saying you can actually bind this to smooth checklist. There's a binding for it. I just haven't had time. I screwed up. I don't know if I can fix this out. So I bought SPAD like 7 years ago. It expired. I couldn't find my email. I bought it again last year. I reformatted my PC. I went to put in my login credentials. I put in my login credentials from the one that I bought like 6 years ago, and it's asking me to buy it again, but I can't. I don't know. I have to figure out my SPAD because I put in the wrong login credentials. I ended up buying it twice. I'm definitely not buying it a third time. But I want to get SPAD going because you can bind everything. It's insanity. Surface de-ice protection as required, not required today. Pressurization 1,000 feet above cruise. This is why we do checklist. So our final cruise altitude is going to be 34,000 feet. Actually, east is odd, so we're going to set 35. We're going to set. Let's set 30. Shoot, let's do it. Let's set 36, and we'll go to 35. So we're going to set it 1,000 above. That's checked. Rate knob is in the 10 o'clock position check. Manual cabin out control is normal, which would be full ride. Okay, cool. Manual cabin altitude control. Oh. Normal. There we go. All right. Yes, full counterclockwise, so we're all the way in the normal position. Are you getting good with Yes, fantastic FPS, dude. I've got my settings almost maxed out as far as LOD too. I'm not even running auto FPS. We're on the ground. I'm streaming 17 cameras, and we're under an overcast layer, and that FPS is beautiful. Autopilot yoke disconnect test. We're going to just skip that for sake of time. Pitch trim, roll trim. Let's go ahead and set that. So we're actually going to run this... nose up into the green band here. One more. All right. That might be a little bit too nose up. Right about there. That looks good. All right. Flap forward wing as desired as extended flight controls. They are free and correct. Beautiful. Auto feather is going to be armed. Auto feather armed. Ignition's armed. Arm. Standby altimeter is set 29 or 89er. Flight and engine displays, everything is in the green. Checklist complete. All right, takeoff final items. We're going to go ahead and do them. We're going to go pitot heat, co-pilot, left windshield heat is on. Engine ice protection not required. Vent cable heat vent cable is on. Those are on. Transponder is on ATC 2000. Annunciator and ICAS consider that's normal. External lights will get those cockpit lights dim. Windshield heat low. Ignition auto ignition is armed. Generator loads. Left gen. Right gen. 55, 57, we're looking good. Pitch roll is centered and set. Checklist complete. Leaves us at the takeoff. Brakes. Auto feather. VR. Speed. Release. 8 degrees. Pitch. So let's go ahead and set the Toga. There it is. Roll GA. Toga 8 degrees is set. We'll sync our heading bug. It's going to be about, what is this, 2.8? We'll set 280. We'll run through these. That looks good. And checklist is complete. That leaves us at the climb. So index, we'll go to plan map. No, actually, you know what? We'll go here. Radar. And we're going to use the radar control. Watch this. Weather on. But what we're going to do, we're actually going to ground map the weather radar. Alright, so, and we're going to tilt it like 1 degree down. So we have ground mapping on in case we start flying towards a mountain. Alright. Are y'all ready? Montgomery traffic, Starship 1 departing runway 28 right, be right down with departure. Montgomery traffic. Brakes released. It's time. There's no looking back now, chat. No looking. Oh, jeez. Golly. You really got to watch it when you take that brake off. I'm not Starship 357. Look, our pitot overheat is already hot because I waited too long. That's why you get those when you're taking the runway. Those are final items. Like, take the runway, turn it on. Wow, the lighting actually looks pretty sweet there on the runway. All right, we're looking for 8 degrees nose up once we get out of here. Sync the heading bug. Yoga's in chat. Now I'm just going to ignore you guys until we get airborne because I don't want to blow the engines up on this thing. Let's go. Yoga's in chat. It always makes me nervous when the props go through that red band there. Auto feather lights on. Here we go. Torque power set. Up we go. Rotate. Oh, she was ready. Positive rate. Gear up. Much better with that trim setting. Much better. Thousand feet. We're going to start the right turn. Watch that power back a little bit. Montgomery traffic, Starship 1 departing 1,500. Right down with departure. Last call, Montgomery traffic. We're going to swing you over. We're going to select heading. IAS profile. We'll make it about 030. Props coming back to 1600. Oh gosh, I forgot forward wing retract. Golly, that happened so quick. Watch that nose, we might get a little bit of a sinker here. Bringing props back 1600. Close enough. And we need 143 as our climb out, so we've got to pitch up a little bit. We're going to bust out here on the breakout. All right, let's go radar standby, index, FMS, progress, recall, yaw dampener. We got to get that. Oh my gosh, hold on though. Forward wing breakout just in time. I got it just in time. Man, this thing is, we're rocketing, chat. We are rocketing. Let's get her under control here. So we're in that IAS profile climb mode. It's going to keep knocking it back 2 knots. Let's get the autopilot on. We're going to enjoy this. So yaw damper, autopilot engaged. We're IAS profile heading. Let's run through this. Yaw damper is on, climb power, 1 torque, 840 and 1600. Propeller sync. We won't worry about that. Engine displays. We're monitoring. No smoke, seatbelts, lights. Checklist complete. All right, now let's go to our flight plan. Let's get going direct something here. Let's go to nav source. We're FMS. I want to do this. I want to go here and flight plan. Let's go. I don't know how to go direct, chat. We're in auto leg. I guess we'll join it. Run that torque back up. Oh, chat, I forgot to turn my headphones on. There we go. Got our headphones on. My goodness. All right, I finally catching up. Power is set, 850 ITT max. We're getting close to that. 1600. We're out of 10,000 feet. Out of 10,000 feet, we'll go auto feather off. Now the climb profile, we're down to 131. It's getting cooler though. We'll go ahead and turn the alternate avionics blower off. We'll calm that down. Once we join this, we'll nav up here. Look at that thing. We are ripping. We are absolutely ripping right now. Harrison, we are piloting the Starship. The Beechcraft Starship is what we're flying right now. All right, well now we're approaching this, so we will go, once it's synced up, we'll actually nav it. From MIF to Julian and nav. It's going to come to the right a little bit here and join the course. Probably a good center disconnect before takeoff. Yeah, we need... I think I need to research if there's reduced power takeoffs, because it's insanity, man. It's just so quick. It's boom, boom. It's positive rate, gear up, get the forward wing in. Then you turn the yaw damper on. You're trying to turn to your heading. Of course, we went right into hard IMC, which doesn't help. And the pitch angle here, like, I mean, this is, I can manually adjust it, but the most efficient way is to get up to altitude as quick as possible. That's the most efficient way of flying these engines. You know, get up to altitude where they're nice and efficient. Bring that power back. You can see as we climb, the torque is dropping off. So you can increase torque, but you got to be careful because we're going to be temp limited here pretty soon. You can see we're right there, 840. I don't like yellow, so I'm just about as much as I want to go right there. This is my favorite view though, right here with the engine inlet right there. What we are going to do, I'm going to actually lower this. I'm going to lower the nose a tad. I'm actually going to kind of more of a VY climb out. So as I'm lowering the speed bug, and we actually have some speed. So if we go index, normal procedures, safe airspeeds, 2-engine best rate of climb 140, best angle is 115, cruise climb 180, from 10 to 20 it's 160. So let's run it in nice and smooth here. 160. What's up, Paulo? This workload is what makes it awesome. Definitely day one purchase. 100%, dude. That's why I said this is a king. This is my scratching my King Air itch. 29R9R2 set. 92 is set once, twice, and thrice. We're set across the board. We're out of 10,000 feet. We get the wing light on. We just have our nav and anti-collision. That's all we need. Smoke them if you got them. We'll leave the seatbelt sign on here. We'll turn the cabin aisle and the overhead light off. We don't need any more of the indirect lighting, so we'll turn you off. 160 now as we climb out of 19.4. Canard cam in the climb out, chat. That's sweetness. I'm curious, before I adjust the audio level of my sim, how does it sound right now with my headset with the noise canceling on? Because I can turn it down a little bit more. I had everything juiced all the way up for takeoff, but yeah, next Thursday is the release. Next Thursday is the release. Day one buy for you. I really miss a good corporate aircraft that has depth of simulation. Will, this is going to be the one for you, man. This is going to be... this is my... Let's see, so I did one flight with Nick. I did 2 test flights before that. This is my 4th flight, and I still feel like my brain is back on the ground at Montgomery. So I need to do some more. We might just have to start doing some pattern practice. You know, take off, get into the habit. I want to bind the yaw damper as well. So positive rate, gear up, yaw damper on, manage the power of the aircraft. Maybe deal with some. I forget what I was going to say, because I'm going to go to IAS hold mode though here, so it doesn't walk back on me. So we're out of 20. Oh, look at those ITTs. Bring it back. We're still climbing pretty good. Let's keep it going. Let's see if we can't get to 31 first. 31 set. Cruise climb 20 to 30 is 140 actually indicated. Wow. Okay, so in that case, we'll go back to climb profile, and it's going to continue to step down. It's going to continue to step to 31. How difficult is it to hand fly given that it has no tail? It's not very difficult, Jeremy. It flies very much like you would expect an airplane to fly, but it feels different. You're flying a wing, man. It's landing, like actually coming in and landing, you really have to drive it down. So Nick was saying, you know, once you're kind of in that landing assured spot, you're not aiming for the markers or you're going to float half the runway. You drive it down, you aim for the numbers. You get down, you bring that power out, and you just keep holding it off. She's going to want to fly all the way until it just about stalls, but you got real tall main gear in the back, so you just kind of hold it, and then you let those main gear come down. But if you do not want to be fast or unstable, because you will float the entire runway if you're not careful. So you really got to manage that speed. All right, 840. ITT is good. Prop, we're going to bring you back just a hair. Get you right at 1600 RPM. And I really think this is cool. So your vertical speed is the inner dial. The vertical speed is the inner dial, and the altimeter is the outer dial. That's so neat. So we can make a report altitude. This is cool too. Watch this. So I don't forget, I want to report leaving 30,000 feet. I'm going to set 30. Are we going to go all the way to 35? We're going to set 350, but I want to report alert at 30,000 feet here so I can double check on our perf so we don't get screwed up. Yeah, you fly the canard. Yeah, you're very much flying the canard all the way to the pavement. I swear that altimeter was probably stolen from asteroids. Look at that. Leaving the cloudy SoCal marine layer off into the sunrise. Gotta love it. See, as we climb up here in the higher flight levels, really gotta watch our power. I'm keeping it right about 840 aside. Maximum demonstrated crossing is only 21 knots. That's not a lot. I guess you could attribute that to not having our traditional tail. Nice aircraft to watch flown by someone else, but GA aircrafts are dead to you? What? No, man. GA is the way. Phoenix Galaxy, what's going on, man? It's your birthday on the release day of this? Sweet. See, there's our report altitude. There's 30,000, so I'm going to double check my speeds now. From 30 to 41, 130 knots is the cruise climb from 30 to 41,000 feet. So we're going to keep going up to 35. I can give it a little bit more torque now. Turn the report off. Actually, I think there we go, push it in, turn it off. There's not much, I don't know of anything that's not modeled on this thing. I really don't. And that's why when we get into the cruise and we go through some of the manual stuff, it's going to be pretty sweet. Will the profile step down to the numbers in the checklist? You know what, Zach? That's a great question, because there is profile. Well, there's descend. I actually don't know. That's a great question, Zach. If it will, I don't know. I don't think so. I think you just set your IAS and you bring the power back. Or you set the easiest way, Zach, is there's a pseudo VNav in here. And I'll show you that when we start our descent. But basically, you put the altitude that you want to go down to. It'll give you a target vertical speed, and you set that, and then you just adjust the power on the way down. So right now, we're tasking out at 244. Nice. 100%, dude. 100%. Yeah, there is an IS button to hold, so you just... Yeah, exactly. That's my favorite view, though, I swear. I don't know. I don't either canard view or engine inlet view. I think that's so neat. Saw your Starship video yesterday with the developer. Amazing. Watched it all in one session. Day one buy for sure. Nice, Jay Philippe. I released the run-up video as well last night. If you wanted to see the full run-up video that I did with Nick, where we test all of the systems. We did the abbreviated run-up checklist today. You can see it just stepped back down to 141 there. ITT 830, we're looking good. 2,000 feet to level off. 30 knot tailwind, that's nice. All right, we'll get out of all this. We'll go back to normal. The cruise checklist. Climb power, 97% torque, 840 RTT, and 1600 RPM. Auto feather, lights as required, engine display, fuel quantity, total, and aft monitor. So we are going to monitor that. It's interesting that we're burning a little more on the right than the left. I might have to look. I want to kind of look up how to transfer fuel as well. Is there a Mach number on the ASI? You know what? There's not. Well, you can dim each individual gauge too. Let's see. All right, there's our 1,000 to level off. So we have our TAS. I don't believe, I mean, you're not going to be going that fast, highball. I mean, Mach 0.5, maybe. I don't know. Mess with it here in a minute. All right, so we're basically going to clean all those up. That's all checked. Checklist complete. Let's go to the index. We'll go to FMS progress. Drake, Grand Canyon, Keating into Telluride. Bumpy. Do we know if we'll get Xbox as well? I actually don't know, Avapollo. It's a question I forgot to ask. I do not know if it'll be coming to Xbox. How much horsepower on the PT6? I'll get to you in a minute, but it's a lot Alt F4. I'm actually going to pull the manual out here in a moment. So if I put this arc map, I like that one right there. Zoom the range out a little bit like so. We can see where we're going. You can put this in ATC, pre-select, active transponder. Oh, that's how we could change it over here too. Nav, COM page. Probably be helpful to have that up in case ATC comes on. We are leveling 35,000 feet. Beautiful. In another video, the dev answered in the comments. Oh, the publisher said it's coming to Xbox. Very cool. All right, we're gonna see what kind of power we get. Or we can go to 840 ITT. Let's see what kind of speed we can get here. We'll run the torque up a little bit. Come back another couple RPMs. Get it green, 1600. Looking for 840 ITT. You're now free to move about the cabin. We'll kind of see where she trues out at. Let's see. Ground speed is 312 right now. 312. So if I remember how to do this, so I need to go to flight plan. No, I need to go to nav. No. I need to go to nav. No. How do I get to that main page? How did we get index page? There we go. Index page. Trip planning. Estimated ground speed. I think that's just estimated ground speed right now. Where do we get our actual ground speed? Oh no, that is our actual, 321. So let's put 320 estimated ground speed here. At estimated fuel pounds per hour, we are burning 620. Enter waypoint, Echo Tango Lima. Echo Tango Lima. ETL not found. Just kind of messing with that. I guess it's kind of, maybe it's redundant for this. Yeah, we're 323 and moving. So that shows us time to go, 1 hour 31 minutes to our destination. All right. Okay. Can we breathe? Oh, that's loud. I'm gonna turn that down. All right. Chat. We finally made it. Let me bring out my the map cam. We can actually see where we are here on the vertical. We just passed the Salton Sea. And we are looking good. It looks like we will be going into Denver Center up there. We'll follow the flight. All right. That was pretty sweet. Could we please see the cockpit at night with the lights? Yeah, we're going to do... We saw a little bit of the night cockpit this morning when we took off. I'm going to do a night flight in the Starship either... I don't think I'm going to do it tonight because I think we're doing 7.3 max. Unless we skip the back stream and do a night Miami flight in the Starship tonight. We could double up and do that. Is this the Beech Starship 2000? It is. Deepyon Das, have you heard about the Air India? I did. Unfortunately, it's a tragic event, obviously. But we really don't know what else to... There's nothing much to say, man. We have no idea. I know in 2025 everybody wants to be a crime solver within the first 10 minutes of an air crash, but the only thing that we know for sure is that the video, there's a lot of videos circulating. I did listen to one with audio, and you can clearly hear, to me, what sounds like a ram air turbine. You can hear that the engine is not at Toga thrust. So that's basically all we know. We know that that's it. We know that they didn't have enough power, whether they had a failure, shutdown, what have you. And the fact that the rat looks like it's out. I'm not 100% sure the rat is out. It took me some convincing, but I could say fairly confident that it sounded like the rat was out. Starship tonight for sure. 2 aircraft that I really want to see is Just Flight Fokker and A300. Yeah, I can't wait for the Fokker, man. And the A300B2, yeah, I'm looking forward to both those. It is de-iced via boots, correct. Alt F4. And if you watched the video I did, the run-up video, we go through the full boots test. And actually, the Starship has automatic boot de-icing, so it will. I say automatic boot de-icing, but it will automatically inflate the boots in the proper order. So it'll start at the canard, the forward wing, and then it'll start at the outboards, and then the inboards. And it's all modeled, and you can really see it inflate when you blow the boots. You can actually see the ribs really sticking out there. So, man, look at that. We're leveling off. We're fighting that canard lift. That's so great. And this forward wing, it actually attenuates as well, which is really neat. But there she is. We are going over, man, are we almost over Blythe already? We are cooking with gas. We are cooking. We're almost to Blythe, actually. Alright, I wanted to get the manual out on my other screen here, because this manual is insane, y'all. It is insane. I think the wife is going to be swinging by with coffee, which definitely looking forward to, because I need it. I don't know if you heard me yawning, but I need some coffee, chat. All right, let's go inside to our nice Starship view. Ooh, which side should we do? We could do this view, or we could do over wing view. I think we should do canard view. And if you want reading a manual, someone clip this. Well, we're going to skim through it. The manual doesn't tell me how many pages it is. Oh, hold on. This isn't the manual. This is just the highlights. Let me open the actual manual. Stand by. Black Square Starship Manual. 190 pages. 190. Is the cabin modeled? Of course. Meticulously modeled. Meticulously modeled, man. Okay. Let me pull this up for you. Boom. Do you like that side, or should we do that side? Maybe that side is better with the sun coming up. Oh, you can't see the sun, but there is no flushing toilet. There is no flushing toilet. You are correct. Unfortunately, the toilet is not modeled. But here we go. The black square Starship. I'll make this a little bit bigger so we can kind of see it together. Refund. When did I start using Volanta? I just started using it for the flight tracker cam when we started doing the vertical cockpit cam and flight tracker. So this is the full-blown introduction. I'm not going to read it. I feel like we did a pretty good introduction on the Starship on my recorded video with the developer. Yeah, it doesn't have a functioning toilet, but it has a functioning floppy disk drive, which is insanity. We'll plug it in here in a minute, probably, if I remember. All right, so feature overview. Let's see if there's anything that we don't know that we're used to from the Duke. So we've got the tablet interface. We're familiar with that. 14 CRT tube, very low, an Omega navigation system. So for pre-GPS area nav, you can VLF and Omega, absolutely insanity. This one is cool here. I hadn't seen this before. So avionics and instrument panel temperature simulation requires you to properly manage the equipment cooling systems on the aircraft, or else be faced with the electronics and display failures that will necessitate reversionary modes and hardware redundancy. So because I kind of feel like this is why we have so many screens, because it's kind of like the first CRT airplane out there, and the FAA is like, wait, we got to have so many backups, or either the devs are like, we need to have so many different backups. We need a backup to the backup to the backup. But if get familiar with the reversionary panel, it's fantastic. You can cross-reference from left side, right side. You can flip your screens up and down. So if you lose a screen, or a screen overheats or fails, you can get that information on another screen. It's very well thought out, the actual aircraft, and then it's all, of course, modeled as it should be. And it's wonderful. So that one's pretty neat. 230 plus random scheduled or performance triggered failures, settable via the tablet interface, engine damage, third-party UI. The fully simulated environmental control system for heating and cooling. The new terrain weather radar technology. This is what we looked at a little bit. The being able to ground map the terrain is awesome. I wonder if we might mess with that a little bit going into Telluride, if we go all the way to Telluride, unless you guys wanted to stop offshore at Sedona. We'll see. But the be able to use the pseudo radar, tilt it down to paint the earth and kind of paint the terrain around you, I've never seen it done before. And Nick was saying it's the first that he's aware of, and it's the first that I'm aware of too. So having a radar ground terrain thing is awesome. We did that a little bit leaving, but I just got so busy. I was overwhelmed there. But that is pretty neat. If you do want to see that in action, that video I did, go to the approach, and you'll see we mess with it on approach. The electrical system, 170 plus circuit breakers and failures, they're all modeled. So what's interesting is when I cooked my engine, I also fried the circuit to my taxi light, and I had to replace the taxi light as well. DCS Vigan, yeah, well, this is not DCS. Yeah, the DCS Vigan has the ground radar. Yeah, that's pretty neat. But as far as in a flight simulation, Microsoft flight simulation, I've never seen it. I don't think I even saw it in X-Plane. I know we had ground terrain, but that's all database terrain. I don't know if we had ground mapping. The turboprop dynamics, torque, NG, fuel flow, hot starts, residual heat. That's all. If you're familiar with the Dukes, you're probably familiar with this. It's even more refined. When you shut down the engines and you put the covers on, that will retain heat longer for your next startup, as if you don't cut it. So it actually makes a difference if you have the covers on or not. And of course, if you leave the covers on and try to start, you're going to have problems. But An airline pilot with 32 kids, how busy can V1 be? Jeez. I feel like there's some airplanes that still get AirRec updated on the floppies. I think there are, actually, Cody. I think there are a couple airplanes that still do that. Physics-driven propeller governor and feathering simulation. Beta range from Black Square Duke, so we're familiar with that. The floppy disk for updating navigation database and reading other data files. Let me see if I can do that right now. Let's actually, so we'll come back here. And we're going to go to the index page. Read write diskette. Well, that's for the other thing. So let's actually go over here. Here is our floppy disk. Nav data update. Now we can read. Don't do this in flight. I'm not going to update it right now, but there you go. We can update the database, the checklist, the route USA, all that stuff. So I should have done that first, but I'm not going to, I'm actually going to hit cancel. So, but there you go. Probably should have done that pre-flight. But there you go. We're in the turn right now over Parker, headed towards Drake and Sedona, Arizona right now. But that's how you update it. Now, if what's also really cool is if there's a bug in your flight plan and we can't figure something out, if you write the file to the diskette, then you can get that to the dev, and then he can troubleshoot what's going on with your flight plan while your flight plan's bugging out or whatnot. So it's pretty neat. But I don't know if you heard that grinding, just like the real floppy disk of the time. So pretty neat. Just a hair hot on number 2. Just want to touch it there. To get number 2 to get down to 840. There it is in the white. That's what I like. Blackbird Controls coming back in the house. Blackbird Controls, my man. How you doing, dude? Good to see you. Dropping 10 more gifted subs. Blackbird Controls, man. Hey, Blackbird. Well, I guess I'd say Starship throttles win, but essentially it's King Air. We need a King Air throttle set from Blackbird, man. That's it. We need a King Air throttle set from Blackbird. Thank you so much for the 10 gifted subs, man. Appreciate you. That is the maker of all the Blackbird Bravo mod throttles you guys see. Mad Dog Lexi says, I'd imagine lots of old 744s, 320s still used. Yeah, there's still quite a few airplanes that use floppy disks. Yeah, there's still quite a few airplanes that use floppy disks for nav data update. That is true, factual. We need a gated turboprop setup with beta range and gust lock. I know, but then we need a whole new throttle. That's the problem with that, is we need a whole new throttle. Hold on, I'm trying to get an update on the coffee. Stand by. All right. Man, is that Havasu? That is Havasu. Man, we are cooking. Lake Havasu off the left-hand side, chat. Miss V1 is the GOAT, indeed. But not until I get my coffee. We're going to piss off Roberto by buying that Dash 8 one. Nah, I know it, man. Am I hearing a new V1 design throttle with Blackbird handles? That would be sweet. That's what we need to do, Blackbird Controls. We need to come up with our own GA Quadrant. A whole new quadrant, Blackbird. We should do it. DM me. All right, back to our back to looking at a couple of different things here. We know the gyroscope physics, voltage-based light dimming. This is what I wanted to do, but I forgot to do it because we had the ground power on. I had all the stuff bound up. But starting the engines on battery power is epic. when everything dims. So absolutely love it. We'll do that for our night flight probably. Oh, she's in the line right now. Oh, I just hit my yoke. Hopefully we didn't disconnect. No, we didn't disconnect, right? Bryce, yeah, this plane is awesome, dude. Let's see. Strobe light system, realistic flashing in the clouds. You can actually turn that to dim. So that's what this dim button is, or low. So if you're in hard IMC and it's low light and you see that flashing going on, you can actually turn the strobe into low. And that's also simulated, which is pretty sweet. St. Elmo's Fire, there's pictures of this in the bottom of the manual. Mathematically accurate VOR and ADF and signal attenuation and noise degradation. This is so cool. When I did that video with Nick and we manually selected the VOR via the joystick on the CDU, and then as soon as I put it to active, we've got the attenuation. You can see the needle vibrating, kind of going in and out because where we were sitting on the ground. It's fantastic. The most accurate representation I've seen of VOR and ADF nav is in the Black Square aircraft. Yep, the needles will bounce and respond to aerodynamic forces. We already know about this. The pitot covers, CRT simulation warm-up based on instrument panel temperature. If you try to boot this thing up when it's freezing cold, it actually takes a minute to warm up, true to the real thing. This plane was almost perfect. If they decide to bring it back, newer avionics, lighter composites, lift engines above wings, and like Honda Jet or attached to fuselage, maybe. I just don't know if the demand is there for it now, you know? I have a scenery to show you after the stream. 2 of them. Almost forgot. Really? Well, we're planning to do Santos Dumont later. That's the plan. State saving for fuel, radio, frequency, memory, and cabin aesthetics. Carbon monoxide leaks are possible. Can be detected with the CO detector. This is true. Slowly damages the engines. All right. Sounds, flight dynamics. We know all the good stuff. I wanted to scroll down to... so in 2024, dynamic registration has been disabled. That is, that's one of the talking points that we have to mention. Oh, from Photo Rico, really? Interesting. All right, master warning light. So this is a panel that I need to just print out of this page right here. ND, so we have PFD, ND, but the CDU, MFD, and when I hear MFD, my eyes go here, which I'm like, no, it's the ND. So then I got to go back here. So MFD, the ICAS is on top, the CDU, CRP, RTU, ASI, ALI. This makes a big difference when you're trying to go through those checklists and he's calling them out. It's on the CD or the MFD or the MSP. But this is that's a good learning tool right there. Here's our airspeed indicator. I wanted to see, it doesn't say anything. Digital VMO, magenta arc. We talked about the stop. Magenta arc extends from the tip of the needle to indicate the trend. The arc ends at the approximate airspeed of the aircraft in 10 seconds. So it's a 10-second arc. So if you do not adjust the throttle, wherever the magenta line is, that's where the aircraft energy state's going to be, or the airspeed state's going to be if you go unaltered. It's a trend arrow. Yeah, I don't think it's possible to model anything else, VFD. I really don't, dude. We talked about this, the vertical speed indicator. This one's pretty epic. I just love the way it looks. You got vertical speed on the inside. You can actually bug your vertical speed needle here. The altimeter's on the outside. We talked about setting the report altitudes. Oh, we should be in half bank, chat. We should be in half bank as well. Let's come down here. Half bank is on as we get ready to turn over Drake. And then we'll be seeing Sedona here pretty soon. Sedona Red Rock will be coming up pretty soon. I actually think it's over here. If we turn over Drake, it might be too early. Let me see. But I want to see, yeah, we'll turn over Drake. Sedona will be off the right. And then I want to go to Grand Canyon because I want to go up towards the Grand Canyon. I want to see what the Grand Canyon looks like. We should check our fuel. 842, 830, everything looks good across the board. I guess engine auto ignition stays armed. turn those off. I can't remember. Auto ignition off. Prop sync comes on though. Oh look, it's syncing it up. Look at that, it synced it up for me. That's so cool. Didn't even touch it. Prop sync that actually works. Doing 170 indicated with a TAS of 305, ground speed of 334. Goodness. While I love the Starship, bringing it back wouldn't be viable. The P180 will outperform it. Smaller engine, the fuel burn. Yeah, the P180. Now, how many passengers does the Piaggio hold? Let's actually do a little cabin tour. Let's do a full-blown cabin tour. Let's go ahead and take a look. So you guys saw the, there's our gear pins and covers. There's the floppy disk situation. Going in here. So remember, we do not have a model toilet, unfortunately, but that's okay considering the way everything else is modeled. The lighting in the cabin at night is so 80s, man. The vibe is so good. Can't wait to do our Miami night flight. Maybe we should go from Havana. I was going to do Havana to Miami. That's pretty short, but maybe we should go like, what's the island south of Cuba? Not Jamaica, but there's one other one, MWR or something like that, Grand Cayman. Maybe we should do that, fly over Havana, then go into Miami. I think we should do that for a night flight. That would be so cool. So yeah, we hold 1, 2... You know what? I could take my family on this. So I got 4 kids, the wife, and we can have a friend, and an extra pilot seat. You know what? Oh, we got the little love seat back here. Chat, forget buying a Duke. I need to buy a Starship. Could you imagine? Ooh, what does this do? Oh, what? Best aircraft the CO ever built. Burton. Wow, look at that. Oh, best aircraft the company ever built. Wow. That's pretty neat. And I'm assuming these chocks, if you pull them out, they won't be there if they're out on the aircraft. Look, you even have this nice little maximum compartment capacity, 525. Seat weights and maintenance. That's pretty neat. Got all the... what is this? Is this like just a table? Storage? There's no toilet? Wait. Oh, no, yeah, the toilet would be up front. Oh, man, yeah, this is what I need, Chad. I need to buy a Starship. How much are Starships going for? Learned from the previous video with Nick that he's a solo dev? Yes. Yes, he is a solo dev, man. He is an absolute freak. In a good way. In a good way. He, the fact that he's able to... Do these work? What do they do? Reading light. What? Reading light. Oh, chat, coffee's here. Coffee's here. You guys have control. Don't touch anything. Let me, we're about to turn over Drake. All right, you have control. Miss V1 coming in clutch. What do we got today, honey? Oh, you spilled it.
On myself.
All right, I'll be right back. We have... Oh, jeez, I just hit my yoke. Stand by. Chat, Father's Day Sunday. I'm entitled to a big party, right?
Did I get a big party?
What did we do for Father's Day? Oh yeah, you had breakfast. Yeah, we had a semi-party. I think Father's Day I should get a big party. All right. Love you. Thanks. We back, chat. All right. Father's Day party. I think we're doing a cookout, man. Funny how that works out. Yeah, Father's Day party. You cook for everybody. That's right. I like it. I actually just dropped that trip. So I said I had a trip Saturday, Sunday. I dropped it, chat. I dropped it. So we're going to do some flying. Blackbird Controls, thanks for the $5 super chat, man. If Blackbird Controls ever gets big enough, I'm buying the Starship for company plane and hiring V1 as the pilot. Dude, I'm all in. And look, I'm an instructor too, so once I get checked out, I can legally teach you, right? So we can both fly it. Yeah, I don't know if you're going to find one for sale. So Nick was saying that there's only like 5 or 6 that are still flying today, which is crazy. All right, this is cool. I'm going to do... we'll come back to the... probably not going to get the best view here. I'm going to turn it down. I was hoping we'd see Sedona Red Rock, but it's actually kind of hazy out here this morning. Why did this thing flop? I think it was just the advancement of the King Air and how versatile that actually became. So like this was really supposedly going to be the King Air replacement, but I think the King Air just took off and then that kind of left the Starship behind. But the fact that it has the technology that it has in it from the 80s is just nuts. Thank you, Blackbird. Appreciate the $5 super chat, man. Reports of a JetBlue runway excursion at Boston. These things happen in threes. Stay safe out there, y'all. These happen in threes. The Starship crawled so the P-180 could run. The P-180 would also benefit from putting its engines higher so the props don't have to deal with the difference in speeds above and below the wing. Ah! That's a very interesting, Metal Face. I didn't even think about that because, yeah, you're going to have different speeds above and below. Now, what is cool, though, what I really like about it, how it uses the heat. You don't need prop heats because you've got the exhaust blowing right on the engine props, which is pretty neat. But I can imagine that over time that it's probably not very good for them. Maybe the inspection has to go up. There's always a trade-off, right? Very, very rare in aviation or do you get something for free. So, you know, free anti-ice on the props. Well, that's great, except now you're running hot exhaust over the propeller blades all the time. I wonder what that does for inspections. Rafael Pessa, what's going on, man? They need to clean them after every flight pretty much. Wow. I mean, I would imagine that would, you know, especially you start flying 3 hours. I don't know what the full endurance is, a full tank. But according to Wikipedia, only 6 Starships were still airworthy as of 2020. Wow. So, and that's what I was kind of saying when I was flying with Nick on our video. He did more than just create an airplane for us to fly in the sim. You know, this is a piece of history that is not going to be around flying forever. If there's only 5 left as of 2020, it's only a matter of time before there's none flying. And to have such a highly detailed, modeled airplane in a sim like this, he's really preserving history. So I just think that is so neat. We are about 16 miles from Drake. Once we get over Drake, well, I'm going to do the outside view turn. But I'm actually kind of vibing with this view here. We need some 80s rock here in a minute. Wait till we pass over Drake. I wanted to see somebody saying something about JetBlue. Hold on, I have contacts. Stand by, let me see. It's similar to DCS. It's a museum in some ways. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I'm having a hard time updating my chat. CRTs will quickly run out of... Oh, yeah, they will. Out of replacements. I'm sitting in kind of a dark hole here with my phone, so. Howdy, howdy, Captain Chemtrails. What's going on, buddy? Yes, indeed. We're in the Starship. We are in the Starship. It's quickly becoming my favorite prop airplane to fly, man. It's just, there's so much to do. The management, the task saturation. The fact that this is a single pilot airplane, too, is pretty wild. We took off out of Montgomery, and we're going through 10,000 feet, and my brain was still on the run-up pad. It's the boss. Zippy, you should be studying. Yeah, what are you doing here, Zippy? Oh, here we go. You need to be studying 737. No, I can't update my phone right now for some reason, so well, that's not good. Yeah, a JetBlue, the new one. They're in the grass. Ground stop at Logan. It's a 220? 220 and JetBlue in the grass at Logan. What else, you know, what else is kind of crazy is I heard there was a survivor that walked away from that Air India crash. I don't know if that's confirmed or not, but so someone was saying, look at that view, though. There's Prescott. Embry-Riddle Prescott is right here, I believe. I think that's the campus right here. Or maybe it's right here. Or right here. One of these three is the campus. I don't think that's the campus. I think this is the campus. One of those two are the campus. Rocky Mountain Hot Shots. You guys ever see that movie? Out there from Sedona, from Prescott. Yeah, the winglets make up for the lack of vertical stab, for sure. Imagine if this game became popular and there's a bunch of G1000 upgrades. Oh my gosh, I wouldn't fly it, man. I wouldn't fly it with G1000 upgrades. So Sedona Red Rock is off our right, but I don't think we're going to see too many red rocks with the visibility today. It should be right over here. Yeah, because there's Flagstaff. Or no, that's not. That's flag is back there. Yeah, there it is. I can kind of make it out. So there's Sedona Airport right there. If we go to, we're making another turn here. Are we really? Oh yeah, we're in half bank, as we should be. That's awesome. There's Flagstaff up there. There's Flagstaff Mountain. Sedona was right down here somewhere. We're clipping along pretty good. Yeah, the 19th, Captain Chemtrails, the 19th. The 19th. What is the stabilizer on the bottom? You mean the ventral? There's the ventral fin right here. I actually like, you see the thickness to the propeller disc. It's not just a flat disc. So you've got that nicely modeled there. Should look at that on the ground when we change the prop position. But that's just a sweet view right there. I kind of want to turn on some, let's do kind of 80s. That's 1950s. A little bit too old right there. We like some of that. That's pretty Starship-y right there. That is pretty Starship music right there. Juan Brown got some great content coming soon. Hashtag Grim Reaper. Jeez. I can't do this one with the with the lyrics. Wingnut, what's going on, my man, though? Yeah, dude, you know what? It drives me nuts now. Like, I even saw Swiss 001 put a video out. It never bothered me as much as it does now. That's pretty loud. I'm going to turn it down. Man, the instant expert analysis of aircraft accidents now, they really, it's grown to bother me. But, yeah, it's kind of like, and like, well, it's none of my business. It's his channel. But channels like Swiss 001 where they cover all flight simulation to then just jump on a real-world crash investigation, you know there's only one reason why somebody would do that. And it's just like, come on, man. If there was no loss of life, that's one thing. But when you have an entire whole loss like that, meh. Sounds like the group Starship to me. We're going to have to do a group Starship flight. Where were we in this thing? I kind of wanted to look at... I wanted to read about the prop RPM because I find it concerning when there's anything in red, and the props tend to transition that red band quite a lot. This tells you the priority of the cast messages, so red, yellow, white. White messages are second highest, represent conditions that are not fully a concern but could lead if more severe. These are all the different messages you can get. Look at all these cast messages. Look at all this. That's pretty sweet. Instant experts are annoying and totally shameful clickbaits. Yeah, man. That's where I'm at. I'm not bashing at all, but I can't stand Swiss 001 content. Lots of incorrect info and assumptions on accidents. Yeah, I mean, well, that's the thing. I mean, I get it. It's 2025 and we're the generation of now. But, and almost it seems like a lot of accidents that happen now are all caught on video. The only thing we can determine from the video that's factual to an extent is that the video that has the audio of the aircraft going overhead, it sounds like a rat is out. And if the engines or engine was at Toga thrust, you would have heard it. So that's really the only stuff we know. People are like, oh, well, they had an engine failure on takeoff and then they shut down the wrong engine. Dude, they didn't make it to 600 feet barely. So who's shutting down an engine at 600 feet? You're not going to be touching anything till 1,000 probably, right? At least. I don't know what it is in a 7.8, but I mean, for us, 400 feet is when we could start tackling the ECAM, but you're not going to be manipulating switches in that amount of time. So I find that hard to believe. It's just like, come on, guys. But yeah, we all want to know. I mean, I want to know too, because especially for safety concerns. I mean, the NTSB, they're going to be, 787 is quite popular, but they'll get to the bottom of it. All right. We're prop pillar RPM. This is what I wanted to go over right here. We'll come back to the tunes here in a minute. This is a good one, but I kind of want to read this because I always feel like I'm doing something wrong when the prop RPM transitions the red band here. Wingnut says in the Navy, I used to hammer guys who used to start troubleshooting below 500 and 300 knots. I mean, that for good reason, man. I mean, there's no reason to be troubleshooting low altitude, low speed. You got to fly the airplane first and then start your troubleshoot, right? So I can only imagine I can only imagine troubleshooting a friggin' fighter jet, 300 knots, 500 feet. That's pretty wild. I think we'll know soon enough the tail seemed pretty intact. Yeah, Captain Chemtrails. And actually, I saw a picture of the whole. It looks like that empennage was pretty much all there, like the vertical stab, and I would imagine the CVR's back there somewhere. So I'm sure they'll be on it quick. All right, propeller RPM scale is unique compared to most other analog or digital propeller RPM readouts. One complete revolution is 1,000 RPM, beginning at the 12 o'clock. So that's what's weird, is it goes all the way around. It does a full revolution through the red band, which is normal. I guess you just have to get your eyes used to it. The scale appears as a complete circle. Propeller RPM exceeds 1050, at which point the scale becomes segmented to denote the engine running operating range of 1,000 to 1,700 RPM. I know the blue line. Do you guys know what the blue line is before we get there? That's actually noise abatement. So those are noise level props. I have one for the torque as well. Torque and ITT is on the same gauge. So yeah. So you have torque, ITT, and prop right here, right? So 360 of the prop, torque and ITT are indicated here, which is, yeah, you got to get your eyes. It's kind of a trip to look at it because there's a lot of information on one gauge. I'm tending to look at right here. And you know what? Actually, I don't think ITT is depicted. I think this is ITT in digital. Hold on. Let me read. Now I'm confused. Should be avoided due to, okay. Operation within the red ranges should be avoided due to cooling and vibration. The green double arc denotes the normal cruising operation range from 1580 to 1600. The cyan arc denotes the maximum operating range for FAR 36 noise compliance. That's what I was talking about, 1600 to 1690 RPM. So technically, if there was any noise compliance stuff out there in Montgomery, we definitely blasted through that. We were freaking full yoga all the way to 10,000. So the yellow arc denotes the caution range, which should be avoided except for takeoff and landing. Okay, so that's as I suspected. It's just weird to see. Like in modern avionics, anything that's not green or white, it's an eye catcher. So back in the 80s, they designed, yellow is normal for takeoff and landing. But my eyes being trained they are now, it's like yellow is not really an optimal scenario to be in. So you just kind of got to get used to it. If the diamond RPM pointer exceeds the 1,700 RPM limit, the scale will be extended to the tip of the pointer with a red arc. So basically, the way I read that is, if this goes past it, then this will continue to move. The diamond pointer and numerical RPM readout will confirm whatever scale is beneath the tip of the pointer. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong gauge there. See, I'm already screwing up. Well, then that's the RPM gauge. Let's actually read this from the top. Let's see what he talks about here. Green arrow points. The normally green arrow pointer indicates propeller torque as a percentage of maximum from 0 to 100%. If the propeller torques exceed 100%, the pointer will become red, and the scale will be extended to the tip of the pointer with the red arrow. That's what I read. The cyan arrow. So that's this one here, the cyan arrow. Marker on the scale, 80% of maximum torque denotes the maximum normal operating power at 1,600 RPM. So max torque at 1,600 RPM is cyan. And the noise reduction. I'm trying to read that. Turbo torque on one scale. ITT indicate would normally white cruciform pointer become red if operating. Yeah, so it is. It's ITT and torque. ITT and torque are on the same gauge, and then you also have the prop gauge, which turns in 360 degrees as well. So you have you have 3 gauges really, but more than that because you also have digital readouts of the ITT. So you really have 2 ITT gauges because you've got digital readouts, you've got the pointers, and then you've got the torque, and then you got the prop. We're actually getting close to Grand Canyon, which is going to be kind of sweet. I want to do a little outside. Let's get it loaded in here. Ooh, yeah, it's getting loaded in. Grand Canyon out the left side. The Piaggio is the same with the combined torque and ITT. We went over the AFX a lot in the run-up video. So with the RPM scale, green, AFX appears to indicate the auto feathering system. We talked about that. There's auto feather Also with the RPM scale and optimal beta may taxi. That's what we have enabled. Then you have the N1 scale. Basically just a green N1 pointer. That one's pretty self-explanatory. Pounds per hour and MFD. Then we can talk about the MFD. Okay, so I guess it is totally normal to go through the red band of the prop. And we have ITT and torque combined. So we're learning. Which, I mean, we was able to tell. I mean, it's when you read it on paper, it's kind of confusing, but then when you actually see it in operation, I mean, it's pretty dang good. So right now we're running 820 ITT, which would be our white. You can see that here, right? So these are our white gauges. See how it, I guess it's like a T and a T. And then our torque, we're back down to, what is that, 52% torque, essentially. Props at 1600, top of the green band. N1's running 92.6. Kind of weird this thing was designed at the same time as the 320. The displays seem much more user-friendly. Super cool how Blacksburg captured first-gen EFIS. Yeah, it is, man. It's really neat how we captured it. Oh, here we go. We're going over the Grand Canyon. We might have to go to drone view for this. We might have to go to drone view for this. Oh. Yes, yes. That looks awesome. I didn't set VNAV descent altitude yet. I will in a minute. I think we're still a little ways out. Look at the only thing about Starship, these big wings like this, unless you're seated up towards the front. I guess if you are seated up, you get, I mean, look at that. You get a heck of a view towards the front of that forward wing. You have a zero, it's not like sitting on a CJ4 or something where you're looking down at the wing. You've got a heck of a view out that window right there. John, yes, aerodynamically these planes were more difficult to stall because the way that it's aerodynamically designed, it's naturally always going to be pushing the nose down the slower you're getting. So you can force it to stall, like any airplane, you can force it to stall, but Nick did a really good job of explaining this in his aerodynamic video. I recommend you watch it, but it's actually pretty... I stalled it in the sim, and it's actually pretty docile because it doesn't take much. I mean, you have such a large flying surface. You just lower that angle of attack a little bit, and she's flying again. So it's a pretty docile recovery. Now, I wouldn't want to get this thing in a spin. I don't know if it's possible, but that might be challenging. John, let's see. Mad Dog Sim dropping the $5 super chat. Mad Dog, thank you so much, man, for the $5 super chat. Is this out now? No, not yet, my friend. It's out on the 28th, or 18th. 18th, excuse me, the 18th. 18th, this will be a public release for 2024, and I believe 2020. Is it going to be 2020 at the same time, chat? I can't remember. Oh my goodness, look at those orthos down there. That is crisp. I mean, that is crispy. 19th, excuse me, 19th, yeah. Week from today. You're flying the iFly from Orlando to Houston? Sweet, man. We're flying the iFly later tonight. We're going into Santos Dumont, and I can't. You knew Goal was coming. I'm flying that era. I love Goal. It's probably one of my favorite 737 liveries, that burnt orange color. Kind of reminds me of the Longhorns. Look 'em horns, baby. Look at that thing. That is a stunning view. That's why I wanted to do this flight path. That is so neat. Well, we could do Starship tonight. I have scheduled the 7-3. Screenshot indeed, Captain Chemtrails. We could just, I don't know. Let me make a poll, chat. I have a feeling I know how this is going to go. All right. Poll is out. George, right now I have it scheduled for 3:30. 3:30 Central, 4:30 Eastern. Wow. I'm just going to take a minute and enjoy this. Just hearing those engines working. And we are, I mean, we've crushed this flight time. I can't believe how fast we're going. I'm looking at us on the flight tracker, so yeah, we're going right over. There's actually a United 777 at 41,000 feet just passing off our left-hand side. But we are actually getting pretty dang close to Telluride. Look at those shadows. The shadows look so good coming on. Like, that's the valley, but the way that, because the sun isn't fully up yet. Got a little bit of light chop. Ooh, you're flying to Dubrovnik, one of my faves. Nice, George. How does the performance compare to the Piaggio? Captain Chemtrails, I'm not going to compare it to the Piaggio because I haven't actually flown that in quite a while, and the version I have is not even a 2024 version. But what I can tell you is I haven't noticed any perf degradation on my rig in the Starship. Like, I can't even tell that there's... It feels like it's completely 100% optimized. Case in point, when we departed, we were departing Montgomery Field, overcast. I wasn't even running my auto LOD. I had my LODs at maximum, and we were on the ground, no stutter, smooth as butter, with a heavy overcast layer. So perf is, I can tell you it's very good. I feel like I remember the Piaggio being, I could notice a perf in the Piaggio. Not that it was terrible, but I felt like I noticed a hit. But again, that was quite some time ago, and I don't even have the 2024 version of the Piaggio yet. All right, we actually need to start thinking about our VNAVs. So let me see if I can remember how to do this. And I'm also running a bunch of cameras too, so. We go to flight plan, no, nav. Okay, so how do we want to set this up? So that's Keating and then Telluride. So let's actually clear all this stuff out. Let's go over here to Telluride, approaches. Well, first, let's see what the weather is. Weather right now is 260 at 5, 10 miles light rain, broken at 10,000. Chat, why do I do this to myself? All right, 260 at 5. So it's either going to be 9 or the VOR Alpha circle, which I'm not prepared to do any circling. 5 knot tailwind won't be bad. We'll have to shoot this, but this gets us down to 2,300 feet. Broken at 10,000, broken at 12,000. That's suboptimal, chat. Do we have an alternate? So we're going to definitely shoot. We can't do the RNAV. And the VOR is definitely not going to get us down. That's 3,300. So we won't be able to see anything. We have to shoot the LOC and possibly circle. LOC minimum's 2,270. Wait, what? Really? Oh, that's visibility requirements. MDA is 11,340, 2,300. Not authorized north of 927. 120 max, which we could maybe squeak that out. 120 max, 11,340 for the circle, 2,270. So we're going to have to plan for this. I tell you what we will, though. We're going to cross cones at 12,000. So I want to set 12,000 feet here. I'm going to put you at the vertical altitude, 12,000. So we're 600. We're getting close. If I go back to flight plan, approach, Telluride, localizer 9er, Echo Tango Lima, Echo Tango Lima, then it puts in Hodlow, perfect, Zabgu, look at that, perfectly loaded in the approach, end of approach, so it's already loaded up. It's got the Loc 112.5. I think, does this have auto-tune? I want to say it does have auto-tune. Yeah, it does, but we're going to manually tune in. We'll actually go, we'll leave you an auto for right now. On Nav 2, I'm going to hard tune 109.3. So I have it there as a memory item, 109.3. Actually, I could pre-select, and we could pre-select cones, 116, 9, or 5 in Nav 2. I love how this radio works. Matter of fact, let's just do the same thing. Let's put cones 116.95. Let's put cones in active 1. And then in the secondary, we'll have 109.3. All right, so 1695, 109.3 is set. I've got the flip-flop over here. This is what we've got set up. Let's go back to the nav page. Right now, if we start down to cross cones at 12,000, we need to do 700 feet per minute. So we need to go, we're almost there. I like to get it up to about 1,000 feet per minute, 1,200 feet per minute. And then, well, about 1,000 feet per minute is where to go because she likes to keep flying. So we'll do 1,000 feet per minute is when we'll start down. As far as the minimums are concerned, Captain Chemtrails, you can take this to 41, dude. You can take this up to 41,000 feet. Isn't that insane? Turboprop at 41 thou. The minimum, if we do the circle, it's still going to be 11,340. So let's go MDA 11.5. We'll set that for an MDA. All right. Shoot the approach in there for the localizer runway 9er off of Echo Tango Lima. Right now we are, it says 30 minutes to go. We're 7:34. We're getting ready to start down soon. We're looking good. Let's do a fuel check. 6:48. 16. How can I... If I turn the standby pump on, will I pull it out of that aft tank? Let's see. I'm going to turn that one off. I'm going to run the standby pump on 1. I'm going to see if we can't pull those few little pounds out of that back wing tank there. No, we got an ortho. I've been noticing it doing this more lately. It's like when you pan around, it has to load in. Once it loads in, man, oh man. Present flight from to, we are exclamation point route. We'll get it for you. But we took off Montgomery Field, California, and we are headed to Telluride, Colorado. We're getting there. 30 minutes out. Starting down here real soon. VOR circling gross, alternate to Aspen. We could do Aspen too. The Sim Update 2 LOD is all jacked up. Go figure, VFD. I'm glad it's not just me. I guess we can listen to this. We'll listen to one tune here. We'll be cruising our Starship here. I'll keep an eye on the vertical speed requirement. Yeah, buddy. Love this airplane. I just can't believe we flew almost 300 something miles and we've only been, when did we go live? I'm just having so much fun, man. Time flies in this thing. Time flies. I guess we should consider, we did a cabin tour already. I'll turn around and show you though. Big enough for my family. We got the courtesy light. Ooh, coffee maker. Turn that on. That's important. But yeah, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a bench seat in the back. You also have a storage compartment back there with a little shout out to Bert and the chocks, and also the map lights and everything work. So from each individual seat. But yeah, it's the King Air that never was. Nope, no worries, John. No worries, man. I just don't want to get lost in a cabin tour right now and miss TOD and screw the whole approach up. I'm wondering if I should skip to real time where it's going to be 1 o'clock in the afternoon versus early morning. Coffee was crucial today. I know, George. Could you imagine? Somebody said it earlier. Imagine all the King Airs you see. Even if half of the King Airs that we saw today were Starships, I mean, that would be pretty sweet. I just want to fly into a busy FSprojects event with the call sign Starship. Because we're like, what the hell is Starship? Starship? Starship 1. Getting close to TOD. I first heard about the Starship 5 years ago, and I just went absolutely crazy watching every video online trying to find out. Everything's so unique. Too far ahead of its time, unfortunately. Yep. It is. It was. Oh, yeah. It's easy to say this was a better aircraft than the King Air, and probably was the only problem was the maintenance and upkeep, considerably more than the King Air. Yeah. Yeah, the ICAO designator is star. Yep. There's no sim brief profile though. So I think I used a King Air 200 fuel burn profile from SimBrief today for this flight. It seems to work out all right. But if you go back to the beginning of the stream, you can actually do your own flight planning from the cockpit, which is pretty cool. Tells you how much fuel you need. Star 357. It'd be Starship 357. But yeah, the ICAO star when you log into VATSIM, it's going to be a STAR. Is it common in the US to use models call sign? Yeah. Yeah, Skyhawk 166 November, whatever, or Cessna 357. That's common. Not in the airline world, just in GA. NASA's planning to launch 4 astronauts to the moon on 2027. Really? I saw this in a flying magazine when I was 12 years old. I wanted to be a Starship captain so bad. Well, Virtual Flight Diaries, you're going to be a virtual Starship captain here in about 1 week. 1 week, my friend. 1 week. Target vertical speed 946 and climbing. We're getting there. Right about 1,000, we'll start nosing her over. Fuel flows, we're doing 300, 600, we're doing 610 an hour. Oh, I wanted to check our other. All right, so that's not how to pull it out of that aft transfer tank. Is it lost in there? I'm gonna have to watch next video on fuel again. We actually have a little bit of an imbalance. Let's get both pumps on, and let's motive flow to the right. Monitor our fuel pressures. Everything looks good. 608. So I'm trying to kind of just, this is a testing here. We're trying to see 607, 597, 590. Yep, we're moving it over. Cool. So we're moving fuel. We get a nice and balanced. Only a couple pounds, but why not? Why not try? Nope, not on the 5090. This is a, what is this card? 9800 and something? It's the AMD one. If I'm not mistaken, the jet pump automatically pulling from the aft. That's right. There is a tiny on a bit usable. That's right, Napalm. Now you reminded me. Yep. All right, 599, 600. Can we get it 100%? Boom. Look at that. We'll do 1, 2. All right, perfectly balanced. 1,000 feet target vertical speed. All right, we'll finish the song and then we'll start trickling down. 7900 XTX, that's what I got, yep. Sean says, I'm going to have a heavy thunderstorm next Wednesday. Really? Been a lot of big thunderstorms lately, man. I got to tour one at an air show in Phoenix many years ago. It was next to an Airbus with a new glass cockpit. Wow. Yes, it's not ideal for shorter runways, correct. The King Air definitely has better short field performance than the Starship. So, and landing is very unique in this thing because people are like, oh, everything's too floaty. This airplane does like to fly. It's a flying wing. So, drive it down for the numbers. Once your landing's assured, drive it for the numbers. Get that airspeed. I found personally that right about, if you can cross the threshold at 100 knots or close to that 100 knot mark, and you pull that power off and you just hold it off, it's pretty good. If you cross the threshold at 115 or so, 120, it's you're going to float a while. So 120 is a good approach speed. And then as you start diving for the numbers, bring that power back, get that speed down there, just blue line, and then try to target crossing at right about 100, 105 knots, and then just hold it off and let her settle. We'll go to about 1,100 feet per minute, because there is going to be some terrain, so I don't want to just dive down early. We might actually go to 1,200 foot per minute. I got to remember how to do this. All right, we'll pause this as we get ready to start down. So I think what we need to do is... do that. We set our vertical speed. I'm going to set it for 1,200. Okay. And then we're going to dial in our altitude at 12,000. And we're also going to go radar, control, ground map. And we're going to tilt this down. Well, we're at 35,000 feet. But as we start descending, I'm going to use this to ground map our terrain. So we'll put you back in standby for now, but we'll be ready. I've got it standby, ready to go. We'll go back to nav, 1147. Okay, so we'll dial in 12 thou. Remember, it's not terrain radar, it's ground mapping the terrain with the radar. So 35,000 feet, we're asking a lot. But as we start getting down, around that 20,000, 18, 15,000 foot mark, we should start, we'll turn it on and start painting the terrain around us. All right, 12,000 is set. And then all we have to do is hit vertical speed. And now, that was a little aggressive on mine. I'm actually going to run you up just as a reminder. And now all we got to do is manage the power. All right, sounds are coming up. I had an alt tab out and I disconnected my yoke, so I got to reconnect that, make sure it's connected. There we go. Yep. That's me. Autopilot engaged. All right, vertical speed is targeting. You see our indicator airspeed is going up, so now we're just going to kind of monitor that power. And we'll go ahead and turn the prop sync off as we're going to be manipulating the power levers. All right, bring that power back. Down we go. Headed down towards Combs at 12,000 feet here. I love, one of my favorite features of a force feedback yoke is just the slight hum that you can feel in the yoke from the props running. I think FS98 had a Starship. You know what, Virtual Flight Diaries? You might be right. But it was definitely not this. And I, for sure, was not a functioning adult brain to admire the Starship in 1998. But I did have my 1998 simulator, and I did enjoy it. I actually had the one before that, too. Actually, no, I think 98 was my... Whatever one had the Learjet with the black runway or sunset runway thing going on the cover, that was my first real sim. I also had U.S. Navy fighters on MS-DOS, but I could never get it to work. If you remember MS-DOS, hit the like button. Speaking of like buttons, we are awfully light on the likes today. 184 on the likes. Chat, listen. I really want to do some more Starship flying. At the very least, hit the like button for this stream. Not for me, but for Nick, so more people will see his incredible work here on the Starship. Get this video into the algorithm because we need more devs like Black Square. I mean, somebody made a comment on the last video I did. It was like, imagine if every third-party developer had the passion that Nick does for his aircraft when he brings them out. And I'm like, you know what? That would be pretty incredible. A 737 VNAV tutorial? My boy needs it, yes. I need one, Wingnut. Did you happen to see my situation yesterday? I don't know. Wingnut, are you home yet? Are you back home? Because my Gordy's awful lonely, man. Yeah, the streets of Somalia need to be cleaned up. I started with FS2, but I'm a grandpa. Nice, man. FS2. Did that one have visuals? Or was that just text on the screen with the gauges? We need a newer update caravan for X-Plane. Yeah, so Lost in Space, as far as I'm aware, so we're actually a little bit, we need to increase this vertical speed here a little bit. As far as I am aware, the upcoming products for Black Square, he's got the caravan. It's the full standalone caravan. Oh, descent profile. Is that what I'm supposed to do? I don't know. Let's use descent profile. We'll figure it out. I think that's what it is. It's a standalone caravan, so full, instead of like panel modding, the first one he did, it's going to be a standalone caravan with a pod option, a non-pod option, and then he's also working on a Baron. He's also working on was it a turbo Baron or turbocharged Baron? So there's quite a few airplanes in the pipeline. He made a post about it. It's been a while now, but there was a post online about everything that he's working on. So there's a lot of stuff in the pipeline. Of course, the Duke's compatibility to 2024, an official 2024 update is coming. But, you know, I think it's all hands. I say all hands on deck. He's 100% focused right now, I think, on the Starship, getting it right here, getting it ready for release in 1 week. So I'm pretty sure that's taken up the majority of his time. I don't understand how he has time. I don't understand how he does Miles to Budapest, but it's incredible. Think V1 Nation could band together to get the Baron and King Air moved up in the queue? I hope. Maybe at Expo. We're going to have a presence at Expo and be like, hey, listen, I know you've just dedicated your last couple of years to get the caravan out first. Can we alter that plan for selfish reasons? I don't know. I'd be pretty jacked to have a fully simulated caravan, though, for career mode if by that time it releases, I have no idea if there's any release time. I don't think there is. If we start to be able to use third-party aircraft in career mode, I think it'd be really... Imagine using a Starship or a Starship quality Caravan Duke in career mode. That'd be so much fun. There's a real Starship flying over Kansas right now. Starship 1. Are you serious? That is so cool, man. So George, this is actually called descent profile mode. So it stair steps down and it will stair step up to maintain the profile, and that's accurate to the real thing. So we did the same thing in the climb out. I guess if you wanted to be 100% smoother, you could just vertical speed it and lock it in. But this ensures that you're on a vertical profile. So you see how it keeps ticking up. It keeps ticking up to keep the speed up, to keep descending on a profile. Now you can disable that if you just do a vertical speed mode, or even an IAS hold. You could do that. But if you're in descent profile or climb profile, it's going to use this stair stepping ladder technique to give you the most optimum descent path and climb out path. VMO minus 25 until 10,000 and then 225 knots. Yeah, did it have... I don't remember if it had speeds. Where did we see that? Normal procedures. Safe airspeeds. I didn't know if it had any... Didn't have any descent speeds, so... A King Air F90 would be awesome, yeah. Down we go. Tootco dropping the $10 super chat. My man, thank you so much. I lucked out in college. Roommate dad owned a Baron 58. Would fly me out of college and drop me off at my local county airport on short breaks. Always rode in the FOC. That is so cool, man. That's a really cool story to have and a great experience, too. That's fantastic, man. Thanks for the $10 super chat. Baron 58 is a sweet airplane. I look forward to that one as well. Baron 58 is going to be pretty sweet. So it holds the speed and you adjust the vertical speed using power. So it's actually increasing speed until it gets up to the maximum speed minus 25, and then it will maintain 225 knots-ish. I think, something like that. And it's going to stay on the vertical speed profile, and yeah, you just adjust power so you don't overspeed. It's kind of like IAS hold, where the IAS hold is automatically increasing. So think of it this way. If I have a fixed power setting and I have an IAS hold at 200 knots, if I increase my IAS hold to 210 knots, what's the airplane going to do? It's going to pitch over to get 210. And then it's going to go ahead and do the same thing. Once it gets 210, it's going to go 220. It's going to pitch over. It's just kind of stair-stepping down. That's kind of why I was preferring the vertical speed hold on this, but somebody mentioned descent profile, and I thought we'd check it out. But so as we get closer to the mountains, it might get turbulent, and I might want a better control. So I'm going to watch this. I'm going to put us into vertical speed. We're 1148. So I'm going to run this back. I'm going to put it into a straight vertical speed hold now. So now we're going to go straight vertical speed hold. And it's just going to honor this, and it's going to be a much smoother descent all the way down. But now we really got to be Johnny on the spot with our power and airspeed, because now, watch the airspeed. You'll see it's starting to come back now. Now we're slowing down on the descent instead of staying fast. So if I want to speed up, now I got to go ahead and juice up the power. But now what's that going to happen? If I add power, now I'm burning more fuel. So there's multiple methods. You're all ultimately going to get to the same conclusion. There's just different techniques, and there's different situations where one technique may be better than another. You know, if I'm getting ready to fly into Telluride and it's possibly windy and bumpy, I probably don't want to be going down, just below MMO. I want to maybe dial the speed back a little bit, have a more conservative descent rate. The vertical speed is probably better in this case as you have a high altitude airport and you'll want to slow down earlier, higher than you normally would. Yes, that would be a good, that is a good example. And we're only going down another 8,000 feet here, so we're going down 12,000 feet. We're going to slow it up because we don't need to be going into the hold or the procedure turn over Keating at 250 knots either, right? Get it back to a nice comfortable approach speed. What I wanted to look up is there a placard for the forward wing at all here? Like a speed placard. There's really not. So like, you know, on your traditional flaps, was there a safe airspeeds? There's really no, I'm thinking of a flap speed. There's really no flap speed. Is there? Above the light panel. Here it is. 180 knots max flaps extended. So I'm assuming then as we slow to 180, well, I mean, that forward wing is articulating, right? And then at below 180, we'll throw the flaps out, and then that'll push that forward wing all the way forward. We'll have to watch it. Yeah, 180. 180. That's an easy one to remember. Airbus lives at 180 knots. All right, we're going through 17.9. We'll go ahead and magic, see the alert there? Isn't that cool? Magic barrel ref. What is the altimeter out here in Telluride? We've got 3033. All right, 30. Well, right now it's saying 29 or 82. I'm going to do that because that's the sim 29 or 81. I'm going to stick with sim. And you know what I'm going to do? Let's go ahead and blast us to real-time, real weather, just to make sure. We're on real weather, but let's go real-time as well, in case that has any effect on the weather. I still don't know if the weather is messed up at all when you wind the time back like I was. Oh, duh. Top of white arc on the airspeed indicator. Fake pilot when? Duh. Just like your 172, man. You got flap arcs, right? 180 knots. There it is. I'm looking for a freaking placard like an Airbus junkie. Right there. That's also maneuvering speed, right? Alright, so it's actually getting a little bit bumpy. Bring that torque back a little bit, because we're well above our maneuvering speed. One thing I want to ask Nick about too, I don't know if this 24 thinks, we said that you should be able to scroll the plugs here and it would adjust the A&R volume. I don't know where the click spot is for that. Might have to ask him, because that just zooms me in and out. Or maybe that's like a legacy control conflict. But I was seeing if I could turn down the A&R a little bit. Our progress page is up. I'll show you. We don't really need it because it's pretty clear, but if we go to the radar control, we start ground mapping. Look at this. So we are actually, we could adjust this with the tilt. So that's not a terrain database per se. We are using the radar to to map the terrain, which is so neat. Yeah, the A&R scroll may be borked to the legacy controls. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I think so. I'll have to note. I'll have to shoot him a message, because I can turn it on and off, which is great. I love that. Then I don't have to adjust my volume mixer for you guys. Now, granted, we go to the outside view, it gets a little bit loud, but. All right, so we can see the terrain. We don't need to run this. I'm going to turn it off, but that's just a really neat feature, especially nighttime. I mean, especially at night, that's going to be a big player. All right, so I want to start dialing the speed back here. I'm actually going to run this back to 180 knots. So let's bring the torque back. I've got zero interest in the Starship, but you're going to make me buy this thing. Wingnut, it's the most advanced prop-driven aircraft I've ever flown in a sim, dude. I don't know what's not modeled, Wingnut. I don't know what's not modeled, man. But small things like this. So we turned the pitot heats on, right? It's on the final items checklist, pitot heat on. We didn't, I was too slow at getting airborne. By the time I took the runway, we got a pitot overheat, or pitot heat overheat alert because we weren't moving through the air. Like, just tiny little things, man, that really, I mean, of course all the big things are modeled. We expect that now, but, you know, because we've, at least anyone who flies Black Square, we know all the big things are going to be modeled. But it's all the little things. I'm coming back to 180 here. All right, after we hit Keating and proceed inbound, it's 11.5 for Zabgu. So there we go, power set to 180. Now I'm actually going to turn noise ANR off so we have a little bit better situational awareness here. If that's too loud, let me know, but I'm going to run that for right now. 180 knots or so, and we are about 2 minutes out. So a couple other things we can do is, let's go to the recall normal procedures. I keep getting the wrong. It's going to be descent checklist. Pressurization. Oh gosh, I forgot that. But luckily we're still 12,000. Run the cabin down here. It's actually going to be. Shoot, that's too much. Yeah, we're okay. We're gonna. We can just set it right about there, actually. Yeah. Set it about 5,000. Well, you see the wind. We're starting to get bumped around here pretty good. All right, rate knob as desired. That looks good. No smoking seatbelts, power, lights as required. Before landing, we'll leave you up right now. Let's go ahead and get our wing nose. Actually, we don't have the nose gear, so we got the wing light on. No smoking, seatbelt lights are on. Pressurization checked is coming down. No smoking seatbelts. Auto feather. I normally get that below 10, but we're 10,000 above touchdown. So auto feather arm, ignition is on. Landing gear, we'll get those. Flap forward wing, lights, autopilot, propeller sync is already off. Radar as required. Yaw dampener, we'll get that before landing. Before landing checklist is complete. Normal landings idle. Wonderful. So we'll go back to the index page. FMS progress, give us some info here. Okay, cool. So now we are ETL. We can turn half bank off as well. 12,000 feet. Half bank is coming off. Put you on NavCom. No, let's put you on Nav radio. HSI. And actually, we can go plan map. All right, Keating is 11,500. Inbound. Vertical speed. Let's get bumpy now. Come down 500 feet. Let's get our cams online. Down to 11.5. And then the Zagbu inbound, we're going all the way down. So what I want to do now is I'm going to sync my heading bug up. I'm going to throw the aircraft into heading mode. I'm going to go nav source VOR 1, course sync. Oh, wrong direction. That's Keating. Shoot. Screwed it up. Nav, we need to flip you over. 109.3. Flip it around. Loc, what's final approach course? 093. Gosh, I hate opening that. We need to go to the left, chat. We need to go to the left. Should just be flying. That's what I should be doing. I can see the runway, but I wanted to get this synced up here. All right, we're going to hand fly it in. Oh, Flight recorder. I've never done flight recording with this airplane. Let's see what it does. Kind of botched this approach a little bit here. Capture it back to the right. I hope it's capturing it because I'm getting the recording. Right, recording's on. We're capturing the lope. We're below 180. Forward wing extend. All right, I'm going to go ahead and disengage the autopilot. I have control. I'm going to sync up the heading bug here. Let's keep coming down. Runway's inside. Are we sure it's 093? Is that the right? Is that right? Definitely offset low. That's right. I can see the runway though, so I'm going to just line up with the runway. We can go ahead and kill the flight director, right? Flight director's off. We're through our minimums. Runway's in sight. Get ready to throw the gear here in a minute. That's actually the gear warning horn, right? Wow. I really hope there's no CTAF for Telluride. We're through Mans, runway in sight, coming back to about 120. That's your approach speed. Telluride traffic, Starship 1 on about a 3-mile final, runway 9er, Telluride. All right, we get the nose light on. No need for the wing light. Smoking is set. Landing checklist is complete. Localizer is displaced to the right, but that's normal because we have the runway in sight. We're also going to start running the props up now. Props are set. See how they go red and then the governor takes time to kind of bring them back down? 23 nothing. Oh, I don't have any time to switch it now. That's why I need my co-pilot. All right, we're stabilized. Once you get her locked in, I mean, this airplane flies so nice. Like a little bit more trim. Look at that. We're trimmed out 120. Yaw damp to go. Ooh, we're getting some mountain wave turbulence here. We'll go ahead and go yaw damp. Yaw damper's off. Watch that speed. Look at that. Oh, look at that sinker, chat. Holy. 12-knot tailwind. We might have to circle this. We might have to circle this. I'm going to monitor this wind here. Yeah, I think we're going to have to circle it. Let's brake for that. We got 10 knots on the tail. So let's go ahead and level off here. You don't ever really want to climb in the pattern. I'm going to come up a little bit. Let's go ahead and brake for the circle. We put that down with a 12-knot tailwind. We're going to go off the end. Let's make a good decision. We'll be in the FBO booklet over there. We're going to leave the gear down. We've got the fuel. We're all set. We're just going to extend our circle here. I don't see any traffic, so I think we're okay. 093 reciprocal is going to be 2. Oh yeah, Lope disagree. Wow, it's even... Okay, we'll just leave it. It tells you when the Lope disagrees with the course line. That's pretty neat. We'll just leave it. We're visual. Downwind. Barry Seal doesn't circle. Well, we're circling it. Our maiden voyage on the Starship. We'd hate to ball this one up. We'd hate to ball this one up. Let's go ahead and swing it wide a little bit. We keep getting that Lope disagree message. Alright, I think we are good. Start bringing her around. looking good. Tad high. We're definitely fast. Let's go ahead and bring those back. Shoot, we might be too fast, chat. We might be cooked, chat. Chat, we might be cooked. Let's see, we get it turned into the wind here. Diving for the numbers right now. We might be cooked, we'll see. Keep diving. Keep diving. We might be alright. Dive for the numbers. We're okay. We're looking good. We're looking good now. Speed's fine. Power's fine. Drive it down. Don't flare too much. Just kind of level her out. There you go. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. And where are those mains at? Find that runway. Find that runway. There it is. Betas. Whew. Chat. I was a little nervous on that one. Legend has it he's still in ground effect trying to grease it. Oh my gosh. Whew. All right. Let's take it back. Let's get going. We're on the runway. We'll get these both into idle. Bring that forward wing in. Flaps are coming up. We'll stop the recording. Whew. I'll take it. Here, look, I'm just gonna leave it in idle. Watch this acceleration here in idle. Airspeed's alive. Listen to the tires. That squeak is in the sim, Virtual Flight Diaries, of the pedals. That's the brakes. Oh, pitot overheat. We gotta kill the pitos. We'll kill all these. The heats are coming off. That's coming off. Those are coming off. Do a little bit of after landing. We'll turn those off. Auto feathers off. Alright, so that's all good. Recall. Power levers, prop levers for normal landing. We did all that. Brakes as required. Maximum reverse. We did all that. After landing. Power, airspeed, forward wing, retract. We did all that. After landing, stall warning heat, pitot static heat, windshield heat, engine auto ignition off, transponder lights. Get the transponder as well. All right, let's shut her down. We'll put you in idle, and parking brake is set. All right, stall warning heats are off, windshield heat as required, vent cable heats are off, transponder standby lights, flaps trim, forward wing. Boom, we'll get all those. done. Parking brake set, oxygen supply, we'd kill all those, so that's coming in. Oxygen supply, ice protection, windshield, bleed air valves, off. Off. Battery is charged. ITT stabilized for 1 minute. I'm going to run through this and condition fuel cutoff. And feather. Those engines are going to be free spinning all the way down. There's prop RPMs. That's killing all that. And we'll just do that for now. Ladies and gentlemen, we did it. Welcome to Telluride. What a fun flight that was. We could put the covers on if we want to. Put the gear pin back in there. We'll throw the chocks down there. I'm going to leave the engine covers off because it's a little bit hot when I let them cool down a little bit. I'm not going to open the door because we're going to look at the replay. But let's see how our landing rate was. Let's see. So I'll review the flight. Let's see. Any guesses? 168. A little bit unstable. Ooh, we had a good circle there. If we look at the tracker, you could see decent circle. Could have been smoother, but just a tiny bit of overshoot. That was a last-minute decision to circle, but 0.98 G, 168, so I don't believe any of that. But let's go ahead and I love how it saves. It'll save the fuel, though. Look, we're down to 453 aside. Left engine is still 100%. Right engine is still 98%. We're looking good. And electrical, I wanted to see something here on this. Standby hours off. No, it's all good. All right, cool. Cabin. Looking good. All right. Now, I don't know if this is going to screw up our engines. It might. So I'm going to leave them in fuel cutoff. We're going to try a replay. I've never done replay in it before. I probably should have. Let's just see what happens if I put us in replay right now. So replay mode on. Appears that do we ruin our engines? No, appears everything is fine. Look at that, how to boot up the screens again. I had to manually close the bus ties. Everything actually looks fine. Minus the red lights. I'm going to turn my yoke off because my yoke is kind of tripping. Pretty standard for replay mode. But actually, I mean, we got sounds, we got we got everything. Oh, we don't have airspeed data because the pitot tubes are blocked. Oh, forgot. Thank you. Yeah. The pitot tubes are blocked, so I have no airspeed data. I forgot to pull the pitot covers for the replay, and we don't have airspeed data. My engines are making weird spooling down sounds. It's making me uncomfortable. But as long as it doesn't get damaged, I'm alright. Alright, I think we have a functioning replay. That's cool. My first test. Oh, remove them on the EFB. That's a great point. Voila, we have airspeed, chat. We have airspeed. All right, let's spin this. Let's run this forward here. Look at this canard view replay is what I want right here. I think, Sandman, it's there, dude. This is the most detailed aircraft in Microsoft Flight Sim. The most fully detailed aircraft. It's got to be, man. I don't know what's not modeled. I don't know what isn't modeled, other than a working toilet. I'll take that. Yeah, so I think if I would have left my engines on, I don't know. I mean, they still sound on. We'll see what happens when we hit replay here. Or when we hit the ground here. Mickey G, you just missed the whole Starship flight, man. It was epic. We flew over Sedona, Grand Canyon, just landed Telluride on a circle. But you know what I mean about that speed control? You gotta be real careful. Big, tall main gear. Yeah, props going into reverse. I think yeah, the sounds are a little... I should have just left the engines on for replay, but everything else is fine. Speed's coming back. Toilet in the future update. Man, let's see how our touchdown was. It's grown on me so much, man. This canard has grown on me so much. See, hold it. I just a little too aggressive. Just hold the pitch. There you go. Just hold it down. Lower the wing to find it. Oh, look at that. Kiss the left. Ooh, a little bit of a hopper there because the runway was running away from us. A little bit of a hopper because the runway was running away from us. But that is cool. I'm going to watch this in half speed. I love how we have, like, just watch the full animation of the aerodynamics as we find the runway with our right main first. Right there, just kissed it. That was real buttery. I think it measured this hop, and then I think we hit harder right there. That second hop looked like a 160. Man, that was cool. All right, I'm going to set you back to 1x replay. I'm going to wind it all the way back. Bring the gear up when we drop them. I'm going to get sail going. I'm going to adjust the lighting here a little bit. I'm not going to spoil a night lighting approach, but what happens if you were landing Aspen early morning like so? Like so. Yeah. All right. Chat. We're cooked. Hopefully we get the gear on this one. Gear appears to be stuck. Yeah, we don't care about center line now. Alright, I had so much fun flying this airplane. I hope y'all at least got to see something a little different. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, hit the like button so we can do some more canard flying. We're going to be doing more canard flying regardless if you hit the like button or not. But just for Black Square's algorithm, get it out there because this airplane literally might be the most detailed airplane that I've flown in the sim as far as GA and props are concerned. So I am very, very fortunate to have got to flown with Nick, drop some knowledge on me, get to share it with y'all. I'll see you on the next one. We do have a stream later this afternoon. Probably going to be in the Max 8, doing some Brazil operations. So 7 days, 7 days. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy on 3-1. See you.